Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have the update for my book club project pan, which is a project pan I created this year because I wanted to read more books, and I thought if I put it up on the internet that will give me the motivation to actually read more. And yeah, we only had one more month left of the year and I have been so successful with this project pan. So if you want to see the makeup that I have been panning and the books that I've been reading, keep on watching. You should also subscribe if you're not, because I do a lot of project panning, but I also love to test out new makeup here on my channel. So let's get into it. As I said, this is like a project pan where I talk about the books that I read, and I roll in some items that in some way correspond to the book that I'm reading. And yeah, I had as a New Year's resolution to read more books, and I get in like periods of time where I read a lot and then I don't read for like a year or something, which is not good. I used to work as a teacher, and that kind of killed all the joy of reading, because everything that I read, I felt like I have to read something that I can maybe use in the classroom, which kind of took out the fun of reading, for myself and on my own. So I have a couple of products here before me. So let's talk about the book I was reading last update, and I have my panning playlist linked also down below. But last update I said that I had started reading this book. This is the book House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. This is a heavy book. It's not like the longest, but it's very dense in some ways. This is a horror story, or I don't know, is it a horror book? It's a mystery. It's a very interesting book, and because it's not linear, and the point of view in this book is actually you read about a movie called The Navinson Project, but the one writing about this movie is doing a very in-depth commenting, scientific study on the movie. He's called Sampano. So you read his comments or his study, but then you also read someone commenting on Sampano's work. So it's it's already so entangled. And yeah, the comments are can be in footnotes. So you have a main story-ish, but then you also have the other story from this other person. I can't for the love of me remember his name now. But it's not linear, so you have a lot of footnotes, so you can jump around. You also have weird segments. For example, I have not finished this book, but where I am right now, we have this part where this is the layout. So you have these boxes, and you have this part of the side, and then you have the main story here. And in these boxes it's a footnote, but it's on one side it's written backwards, as you can see, because this part written backwards is actually written the correct way here. So it's giving the impression of a window, or that you can see both the front and the back of that text, which is very interesting. We have some parts here written on the side like this. And yeah, that's the layout of the book. It looks very different. It is so much different from anything that I've read. And yeah, I still have a lot to go. I've been so goddamn tired since returning from Japan. I don't know, it's been the jet lag, but it's also been so much to do at work. And reading this book is very tiresome. It's good, but it takes a lot of energy. So I haven't been the best. I have read thus far 131 pages. But I am coming to a segment where there are a lot of empty pages. So maybe it will be a bit easier, like chugging along on this one, but yeah. It's energy consuming. But it's also very like, since I haven't really read anything that looks like this, I am enjoying like the idea of me reading this book, but the actual execution takes a lot. So where I am right now, there are like, this is about a house. So the Navison project, the movie that they're commenting on, is about the Navison family moving into a house, and this house is it changes. So it starts with like just a little closet that appears in one of the bedrooms, and then like this big hallway appears like in the house's hallway, and it's just like, it seems to be infinite when they enter this hallway. Like they can't really find the end to it. They find this huge staircase, and like traveling down the staircase takes several days. So that's where I am right now. They have like this expedition, a group of people who are trying to find the end of the stairway, but like they have basically disappeared in this infinite void that's appeared in the house. It is like a mystery, but it also, I feel like it's, I don't know what, but it is scary. I find myself thinking about what I've read. So it's something else. Let me tell you that. I don't really know how else to like describe this book to you. But yeah, I am just, how much have I read? Like a fifth of the book. So I do have quite a bit left. So when I talked about this book last update, I enrolled one item, and that is this perfume. So this is a perfume by the Swedish, very local for me, brand Scents by Norra Norrland. And this is the scent Vidder, which means like, I don't know, views, like a vast open space in nature. And I enrolled this one because this, I was a bit smart here. So one of the notes in this perfume is actually fallen leaves. So all of the fragrances from this brand is supposed to be some kind of like connected to northern Sweden where I live. So yeah, one of the scent notes in this perfume is fallen leaves, which is why I rolled it in, because this book is called House of Leaves. And I said that I wanted to use this 20 times. Now I think I might have missed actually updating it. I have used it 11 times today, so I do have 9 remaining times. But I do see a little dent now, which I did not do before, so that is exciting. But yeah, we are still going to use that scent. I also enrolled this eyeliner. This is from LA Girl. It's the Shockwave Neon Eyeliner in the scent, the shade Fresh, which is this blue bright color. And I enrolled this one because I think that the third party commenting on the movie, if I remember correctly, he lives in LA, so I just went with LA Girl, works out fine. And I wanted to use this one 15 times, and I have used it 9 times today, so I should be able to use it the remaining 6 times until next update. This is super creamy. I feel like when I use it, I use up a lot and I have to sharpen it. So maybe I should put this in the freezer and see if I can, if it gets a bit more, not as creamy. But yeah, that is where we are with the items corresponding to this book. Now I do have a couple of other items that I've been working on. One long ass item, like thing that I pulled when I was reading a book called The Priory of the Orange Tree, which is ages ago, is this lip liner by Nuba. Because in that book you have, there are some people who get the, what they call the red sickness, which you get from draconic creatures. So I enrolled this red lip liner because it is ancient in my collection and I thought that I could use it so much. But my original goal was to hit this mark, which obviously I have not done. But I said, I think 2 updates ago, that if I use it 15 more times I can roll it out, because I have used it a lot. It's just like, it's never ending. So I have used it the remaining 15 times. So I am going to roll this lip liner out. Maybe by next year, like I should have the goal to hit that mark. I don't know. It's still working out fine, even though it is very, very old. So I'm gonna keep it in my collection. I also have been working on this lipstick. It's a liquid lipstick, and I don't know why it keeps getting like tacky. This is by the brand Giverny, which I think is a Korean brand, and this is the Power Matte liquid lipstick in just a red shade. I can't read what's on the bottom. I wanted to use this red lipstick 8 times. And last time I only had 3 remaining times to use it, and I have used it those 3 remaining times. This is really a really good red lipstick. It lasts super well on the lips, so I have been able to wear this like for work. I don't normally like to do that because I feel like if I have a red or a very dark lip, I need to be mindful and like look at, because it might rub off weird or whatever. But this has been absolutely lovely, and yeah, I am going to roll that one out. I also have 2 items from a book I read. I finished last update, which is this one. It's the book 3 Assassins by Kotaro Isaka. And I rolled in 2 items to correspond to this book. One of them being this little eyeshadow 6-pan palette. This is by Unique Beauty, and it's the Japan Volume 2. And the author and this book takes place in Japan, so very, very fittingly I rolled this eyeshadow palette in. I wanted to use this no pan left behind, meaning that I should touch all of the shades and also hit 1 pan. So you can see what it looked like when I rolled it in. And last update, I think I started to have a little dip in the shade Yukata, which is the shade I decided to focus on. And this is what it's looking like today. So the pans are very deep, actually. I hit pan on this shade yesterday. I do have it on the eyes today a little bit because I wanted to like make the pan a little more visible. But yeah, they were surprisingly deep. But I have been loving using this duochrome on the inner part of my eyelid or on the lower lashes or in the inner corner even. So it's like this green gold to pink. It is absolutely gorgeous. Having so much fun playing around with that shade. And finally, I also enrolled the highlighter Ghost Glow when I read this book. Because one of these 3 assassins that the book is about, he is tormented and he sees the ghosts of the people he has assassinated or killed. So, perfect to roll in something with the word ghost here. So this is by the Pastel Roses, and this is a super duper intense highlighter. It is very stunning. And you can see what it looked like when I rolled it in. I wanted to use this highlighter I wanted to use it 15 times. And this is what it's looking like today. So I do actually have, you can see where I put my brush, there is a little dip, which is a bit surprising. But I'm happy with the state of this highlighter now. I did swatch it out there on my hand, so you can see it's like a very intense. It's almost to a green peach, but not, yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but it's really, really pretty. And it's been so fun to work on that shade, or that highlighter. So, and that means, my friends, that we are going to keep 2 items. We are still working on the items to this book, House of Leaves. Before I talk about the new items that I will roll in, I will talk about one book that I read this month. As I said, I used to work as a teacher, now work at a school, and I do have some time in the school library, so I do have the opportunity to read for work. So I did read this book. This is by a Swedish author, Nicholas Lunabba, and it's the book Blir du ledsen om jag dör, or Would you be sad if I died? And this is like a biography, an autobiography. It's about Nicholas, and when because he runs an organization called in Malmö, which is a Swedish city, and they are trying to help those in socio-economical who are like on the outskirts of society, those who are at risk of falling into crime. He works a lot with young people, with children. And this book is about how he went from just working with them to actually bringing one of the children home, and he lives with him for I don't know how many years, but for quite some time. He like takes this boy in, gives him food, a house, like a safe space. So it's about that time in his life, and it's also filled with a lot of criticism and like anger towards the Swedish society, and how Sweden is failing these children, allowing them to fall into heavy crime and not really helping in any way. How it is basically like dehumanizing these children and these people living in poverty. It was a very heavy book, but it was also like, I don't know, I liked his language a lot, and it wasn't all heavy, because he did manage to help this kid that he took in, Elijah, who has now a basketball career, an international basketball career. So I read that book as well. But now let's talk about, I will bring in 2 items. We only have 1 month left, and then I will kind of reset everything. But I have 2 items that I want to bring in. One of them is this one. This is a lip gloss by Alien Cosmetics, or Unearthly Cosmetics as they now are called. And this is from their holiday collection called In the Dark. So, why am I bringing this lip gloss in? It is because this big infinite void that they find in the house, it is completely dark. There's no light entering that place. The only light that can be found is, at the very beginning, when you have the light from the rest of the house by the door. But then when you move in to the void, it's complete darkness. So, Into the Dark. This is something that I want to like finish up to completion next year, but I think that if I use this one 20 times, that could be a good way to start. I think I could be able to use this at least 20 times until next update. if I have it by my couch or by my desk or something, it will be fine. Then I'm also bringing in a lip gloss, a nail polish. This is by Hollow Taco. I need to shake it. It's the collaboration with Sophia Nygaard, and it's the shade Spirit Fingers. And why am I bringing this one in? Well, there is a part of this book, it is pretty early, where the man who, I can't remember the name of, the man who's commenting on the third part commenter, so to speak, or the second part commenter, he is starting to unravel after reading the notes or this report by Zampano. He's like, something is happening in his life, which he can't explain. Now, he isn't the most reliable narrator. He does enjoy to drink a lot of alcohol, to take drugs. So, like, there is that aspect of him being an unreliable narrator. But he has there is something happening to him at his work. He works at a tattoo parlor as an assistant, not as a tattoo artist, where he thinks that he is going to die. He is filling up ink, and suddenly he feels this like presence, that he's not alone. There is something which he thinks is a human there with very, very long hands, and this it's a bit tricky to understand really what's going down, because he's writing this part in a stream of consciousness. If you know literary theory, you know that the style of stream of consciousness is when you write like super long sequences. You don't like split it up into different sentences. You have everything that's happening like just pouring out of you. But he is like fearing for his life. He sees this thing with long fingers, it doesn't have eye whites. It's just like seeing this thing and being attacked, maybe, by something. And then as suddenly as it appeared, it disappeared. So I was like, what do I bring in? I don't want to bring in any eyeshadow. I want to focus on my Pando's eyeshadows until the end of the year. But yeah, I thought, those fingers, Spirit Fingers, works out nicely, I think. So guys, that is it. I don't think I'm going to do in some of my updates I've been showing you picking my TBR. I'm not going to do that this month either. I didn't do it last month because I really want to work on this. And I feel like if I pick other books that I want to read, I'm just going to be stressed. And I don't want to be stressed. But I really want to finish this book by the next update. I hope I will have more energy come December to read. But yeah, that is going to be it for this update. I hope that you enjoyed. Please let me know in the comments, what are you reading currently? How has your year of reading of books been? Has it been as successful as mine? I would love to hear from you. And yeah, I hope to see you in my next video as well. Bye guys!